It's Wednesday, so you're probably here for the Word of the Week. And the Word of the Week this week is a Hebrew word in a Greek phrase. All right, so let's have a look at it. The Hebrew word is Sabaoth, and Sabaoth means of hosts or of armies. It's from the Hebrew Sabah, and Sabah is an army or a host, but Sabaoth makes it sort of a collective genitive. So the phrase in question, the two appearances in the New Testament, is Kurios, Lord, Sabaoth, of hosts or of armies. And this is an important part of this phrase. It is always implicitly militaristic. All right, so when we read the two verses that the phrase is in, keep that militarism in mind, because we're talking about a title, Kurios Sabaoth, the God, the Lord who commands powerful armies. Okay, that's going to be very important in our exploration of the two verses. So let's jump in and look at the first one in Romans chapter 9, verse 29. And as Isaiah predicted, if the Lord of hosts had not left us offspring, we would have been like Sodom and become like Gomorrah. And the phrase Lord of hosts, as I've said verbally, but now we can read it, Kurios, Lord, Sabaoth, of hosts. Lord, the Lord of hosts is a title. This is the Lord who commands armies, hosts. This is the God who possesses armies or hosts. So let's go back to the quote. If you've been watching the channel for a while, we've seen this verse before. So Paul quotes Isaiah and talks about a situation in which when God was chastising his disobedient people, he could have wiped them all out. The hosts, the armies of God that he commanded could have wiped them all out, but instead he left a remnant, he preserved a remnant so that the people could endure, so that they could do better, and so that their children and grandchildren could be left to experience the covenant promises. So the militarism is the God of hosts, the Lord of hosts, could have wiped us all out, but he didn't. All right, let's carry on and look at it in a slightly different light in James chapter 5, verse 4. Behold, the wages of the laborers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, are crying out against you, and the cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts, Kurios Sabaoth. The Lord of hosts has heard the cries of the people that you have wronged. What is James trying to tell us here? Why should you care about acting justly? Because there's a God, there's a Lord of hosts, a Lord of armies, who hears the cries of the people that you've wronged. And when he comes to establish justice, his armies, his hosts, will come with him. They will do his bidding. You don't want to be on the receiving end of the armies of the Almighty. Right? So James says, you should treat people right because the cries of those that you've wronged reach the ears of whom? Of Kurios Sabaoth, of the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. And when he comes to make things right, his armies come with him. Powerful stuff, undeniably militaristic, right? There's justice coming at the hand of the Lord of hosts. Powerful stuff. So that's it for the two occurrences in the New Testament. But the good news is you can bust out your concordance or you can bust out your software and you can go and search the phrases Lord of hosts or God of hosts in the Old Testament and see some rather enlightening things about this notion of a God who metes out justice to both his enemies and to his own people through the instrumentality of the hosts or armies at his command. Great stuff. So what is our word of the week? Our word of the week is a Hebrew word, Sabaoth, of hosts or of armies, but paired together with the Greek phrase, the Greek title, Kurios, Lord. Kurios Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of Armies. Thanks for watching. Hope that was good for you. If it was, you know what to do with all the social media stuff. Leave me some feedback in the comments. And until next time, Charis Kairene Humin, grace and peace to you.